Hello, hello, room 4. What are you looking at? Do I look silly? What's so funny about me? Oh yeah, it's Wacky Hair Day. So I want to see your craziest hair and we want to get those pictures sent in, okay? Because Miss Kelly's making a special surprise of all the things that we did this week. We did costume day, we did wear blue day, we did crazy hair day, we did, what else did we do? We did team spirit day. Did I get them all? You'll have to help me if I forgot one. There's so many days that we've done, right? So today is crazy hair day. So to go with crazy hair day, we want to do kind of a fun experiment. It's kind of cold and rainy outside, so maybe it's a good day to stay in and have some fun, right? So we've had a lot of requests for some homemade goodies to make. So I'm going to show the camera. Look what I made. Whoa, what color is it? Blue. It's light blue. This is kind of like a slime, like putty. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to make it. When you play with it, it has to stay in the bowl, and ask your family member if you can use your hands to play with it. It's kind of messy. We're going to make some more and hopefully it won't be as gooey. This is what I made right before the video. And you could touch it with your fingers, but it's kind of sticky, right? So it's kind of more fun to use the spoon. You can't eat it because it's made of, do you remember what this is? We've made stuff with this. Cornstarch and dish soap. So how do you think this turned blue? What do you think turned this blue? Was it the cornstarch? Let's look at the cornstarch. What color is that? White. So the cornstarch didn't turn it blue. What color is the dish soap? Blue, you're right. So the blue dish soap turned our putty blue. So if you have dish soap, maybe it's clear, it's not a color, or maybe you have dish soap that's, I think some are like yellow or orange or even pink, then that's what color your putty will be, right? And if you have food coloring, you can put some in. So like, let's say I wanted to make green. What two colors make green? You guys remember. What two colors make green? Blue and red? No, that makes purple. Blue and white? No, that would make a light blue. How about blue and yellow? Would blue and yellow make green? Think about it. We remember from mixing colors, right? Blue and yellow would make green. So if I put a dot of yellow food coloring in here, then this would be like a pretty green color. So if you have food coloring, you can kind of play around with it, okay? So, back to my crazy hair. Okay, so we're gonna make this. I have mine in this bowl. We're gonna use a new bowl. Okay, so I'm gonna put the camera down again. So, this is called a tablespoon. Miss Kelly used some of these when she made Play-Doh. Can you see that there's letters on there? You can't really see because it's black. But it says TBSP. So that is a tablespoon. And we're going to do 2 tablespoons of, do you remember what this was called? Cornstarch. Okay, can you see me? I'm going to scoop it in. Maybe have someone help you with this and you want to try to make it level. Remember when we do cooking activities, we have to be very careful and go slow, right? When we measure. Okay, so here's 1 tablespoon. Let me back up so you can see. Okay, 1 tablespoon I'm gonna pour in my bowl. Lightly tap it. You can have someone help you with this. And so there's 1, and now I'm gonna do 2. I'm kind of using my finger to level it off. Like when you measure with flour or stuff like this, you level it off, okay? So now we're gonna dump it in. Did I get it? Okay. So I have my cornstarch, and what color is cornstarch? White. It feels kind of like flour, but when you feel it with your fingers, it feels a little bit different than flour. It's kind of, I don't know, it's soft and it feels a lot like flour, but it just has a different feel to it. You'll know it when you feel it. Okay, so we did our cornstarch. So we did 1 tablespoon, or 2 tablespoons, sorry, cornstarch. And then we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of dish soap. And this is a half of a tablespoon because I don't wanna get both of these dirty. I want to use separate. So half plus a half equals 1 whole. So I'm going to do 2 halves. You guys will learn more about fractions when you get to kindergarten or 1st grade. Okay, so here's 1. So me pouring it in, and this is like a dark blue color. So what color do you think it's going to turn our putty? You're right, just like this. Whoop, light blue. Okay, 1. And 2. Okay, and I'm gonna borrow my spoon. Sometimes you can kind of have to use your finger to get the rest out because it likes to stay in the spoon. So 2 tablespoons cornstarch, 1 tablespoon dish soap. And you might have different colors of dish soap, right? Okay. So now, should we borrow this spoon from our last one? Oh boy. So when it sits, it kind of hardens a little bit. Again, maybe someone can help you with this. I'm just going to use my finger to get this off because it's messy. So another thing, should you be playing with this like on the couch, in your bed, on the rug, on the carpet? No, right? I don't want your parents to get mad at me for making something messy, okay? So you need to, if you make this, if your family members let you make this at home, you need to sit at the table and you can have a bowl and a spoon and a clean surface. And remember at school we talk about we go very, very slow and we're very careful, right? Because when you go fast, especially with powdery stuff, it can spill, okay? So I want you to be very careful and go slow and take your time. You have all day to make this, okay? So you can take your time. Okay, I just want to say that. And then when you're done, what do you do when you're done? Where do we put all this stuff? Do we just leave it on the table? No, you have to clean it up. If you don't know where it goes, then ask a family member to help you or tell you where it goes and you can clean it up, okay? We always have to clean. We got to wash our hands before and after, and we got to clean. Okay, so let me zoom in so you guys can see this. Stir, stir, stir. Am I going really fast? No, I'm going slow. Slow, so slow. See, with my first batch, that's why I always do a first batch before I show you guys, because we added a lot of dish soap, and see how gooey it is, and this is messier. It can kind of like fall out. But this one, I added less dish soap, and it is more like a putty, which is what we want. So and if you make more, like maybe you have a sibling that wants to play with this too. I know a lot of you guys have siblings, or maybe you just want to make a bigger batch because this doesn't make a lot, then you would just double it. So parents, I will send the recipe or the blog post that I found this on. But instead of 2 tablespoons, you could do 4 tablespoons of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of dish soap, right? Okay, so we're gonna stir, stir, stir. Oh my goodness. Look, whoa. And if you want it to get harder, it says just kind of keep stirring it and move it around. And pretty soon, it'll get more like a dough, and then you can, if you ask a family member, you can kind of play with it with your fingers too, okay? So that is our first experiment. I'm gonna try to find another one and we can do something else, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Remember, if you make it at home, be very careful, be very slow, be clean, and clean up afterwards, and ask permission first, right? Okay, so we'll have to vote which one do we like better. All right, I'll be back with another one. Bye, guys. Send in your hair pictures.